The recording has started.
So, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Isayo. Good morning, Vera. Good morning, Victoria. My name is Amara. I'm going to be taking you through PowerApps Editor today. And last week we talked about building your developer's account. We talked about building your developer's account. And I'm sure most of you were able to do that. So today we are going to be touring PowerApps using your developer's account. So please, everyone in the meeting, have you all created your developer's account? Is it working now? I just want to find that out. Yeah, if it's working, please, can you say something? Okay.
Mine is working.
Okay. All right, Vera. Shisaya, what about yours? Hello, I can hear you. I can hear you. So today I'll be taking you around PowerApps. And before we start, I would like to tell you what PowerApps is all about. So PowerApps is one of the Power Platform tools that we use to create business applications. So we just use it to create mobile apps, and there is you don't really need to know code. It requires little or no code to run and work, and it can be created. It can be created either from the data source, or you can create from blank, or you can create from templates, because normally Power Platform actually always provide templates that can make our work easier. So I would be showing you. So I don't know if you want to go along or you just want to watch my screen. So we have to log into PowerApps. So if you have a developer's account, you have to go to make.powerapps.com. Just type this in your browser, make.powerapps.com. Now I'm going to show my screen now. Share my screen now so you see it. Make.powerapps.com, and it will let you see the Power Platform on your browser. Sorry, let me share my screen so that you see this. Okay, can you all see my screen? Hello? Can you see my screen now, please? Because I'm going to be taking you through the screen, so I need you to follow, and we'll be creating an app today. No, we're not creating passive. We're just going to view the PowerApps editor. So please, I need responses. I actually don't want to be the only one talking.
I can see your screen. I can see your screen.
All right, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. So this is the PowerApps interface. On your left here, I think it will be on your right, you see the menu that consists of Home, Learn, PowerApps, Create, Data, Flows, Chatbots, AI Builder, and Solutions. And we have here the environment, the information on environment, your login details, and settings for your PowerApps site on the top ribbon. Then this middle part starts from this apps actually connects to various data sources. So if you want to build from data source, for example, from your Excel online, from your SQL, from your common data service, which is now database, this is where you go. The first, I won't call it box, I think first section, yes, first section of your home screen. Then if you want to create your own app, we have 3 methods. So we have your create canvas app from blank, your model driven app from blank, and your portal from blank. Then there's your interactive section. This is where you learn more about PowerApps and you know how to use your basic formulas and how to connect with external data in your PowerApps. Then the last section is list of all your PowerApps that you've created and the ones that have been shared with you over time. So we'll be taking this one by one. So first we start with menu. So for home, this is your home screen. You can see your home screen now. I just explained that. Then learn is where you know and learn more things about PowerApps. If you click on it, it takes you to more things about PowerApps and just see, you learn how to create your PowerApps. So it's like you have your guided learning, you have your help topics, you have your community. You can join any of these. There's more information about them. Then the apps. This shows like the list of applications of all the apps you've created using PowerApps. So now I've created just 2 so far. So this is service request and IT service request is what I've created. So it can be more than this and you just see all, and it's the modified date is here. So you can see your modified date. You can see the person who created it. So if someone shares the app with you, you will see who shared the app with you. That is the owner of the app and all that. So while we move on to create. So sorry, are you following? If you have any questions, you can like to ask. If there's an issue, if you are not getting anything, you can take me back. Hope you understand. So we are moving on.
Yes, we do.
All right, thank you. So we're moving on to create. So this is, if you click on create, it brings your 3 ways to make an app. So you either create from canvas, from blank, from your model driven, or you create a portal from blank, or you can start from your data source, or you start from your template. So there are 3 modes: from blank, from your data source, and from your template. And I told you that we have like a lot of templates under PowerApps. And yeah, this is like we have a lot of them. And I think they're still building more that we can use later on in future. So if you want to create for blank, creating from blank is quite the norm. People prefer to create from blank than to create from data. It's not like they don't function the same way. Creating from blank actually gives you the option of increasing the size of your app. But if you are creating from your data source, that's from your SharePoint or from the others, they usually come, okay, we have like 2 layouts in PowerApps. We have the phone layout and we have the tablet layout. So if you are creating from blank, you have the option of choosing which layout you want to use. But if you are creating from data, you really don't have that option of choosing which you have to use. It just comes in the phone layout, and most times the phone layout is usually very small. So it's your fields into a very small space. But if you're using the tablet layout, it's going to just make it larger and more spacious. So then creating from templates, we have different options in your creating from templates. We have PowerApps training for Office. We have meeting capture. If you want to capture meeting, you have your help desk. So these things, it's not necessary you use creating from templates. You can just like look at them and get like an insight or a way of maybe creating your own PowerApps. So we are moving on to data. And then data is, okay, this data is mostly used for your model-driven apps, especially if you are going to be using your database and all that. So we're going to talk about that today. Then flows, if you want to connect your data to your Power Automate, this is where you go, your flows. Then chatbot is for when you want to connect your Power Virtual Agent with your PowerApps. And AI build is for when you want to connect your artificial intelligence stuff with PowerApps and all that. So moving on, we are going to create. So I'm creating this app because we want to create an app. I'm just creating it, so I will show you how PowerApps Interface looks like, and then explain in details how we can use some of the functions. So we are creating from blank. So this is what I was telling you, that when you create from blank, you see the option of either choosing from tablets or using your tablet format or your phone layout. So now we're going to use this. So let's just do this. Let's just use test instead. So we're going to wait for it to load. Okay. So do we have, as it's loading, do we have any questions so far? Okay, so let's keep this. Any questions before we continue?
None from my end.
All right. So
I have a question. Is there a preferred? Is there a data source that is more preferable than the other?
No. All data sources are important actually, but people mostly use SharePoint because it's just like easier to access and store your data and all that. You can also use Excel. You can use a OneDrive. So it now depends on your requirement. It depends on what your organization wants you to use. So it's not like you have to, it's compulsory you must use SharePoint, it's compulsory you must use Excel. No, it depends on what your organization wants and what you are building. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Okay, so continuing. So this is our Power Platform interface. Our PowerApps interface, sorry. This is our PowerApps interface. So we have different sections here, and I'm going to take you through all these sections. So the first section we're going to be looking at is the ribbon tabs. The ribbon tabs and the ribbon command, and this is here from here. Oh, I can't do this. From here, this where your file, home, insert, view action is. So it's almost like this interface is almost like your Word interface. You know, when you open your Word document, you see that there's this thing up here where you have your file, your insert, your view, and some things like that. So this is the interface that PowerApps has. So here is your ribbon. So this is your file. The first item on your ribbon is your file. So this is where you save and change the settings of your app. So now, this is where our name is. So when you do screen size plus orientation, this is where you change the size. So this is your orientation or landscape. This is the size. You can increase or decrease the size of your app if you want. And you have advanced settings here too. So for your advanced settings here, see, most of them are already turned on for you, so you really don't have to do serious things here. So then you have your new, if you want to open a new app. Then you have open if you want to. Your new is if you want to start a new app or create a new application. Your open is to open any other apps where you have your recent files. Then just to open any of your apps you've created. Then you have the account you're using. Then we have connections. So your connections is like your data, say all your connections are going to be using to work in your PowerApps. So I've used Outlook and I've used Microsoft Office users, then I've used SharePoint. So then you have connections, you have flows, you have settings, save, and the others when you click on your file. So when you click home, it brings you back to your PowerApps interface. So you can see all the various sections we have here. Then when you click on insert, so you can add a new screen from your insert. Yeah, so here we have different screens. So we have a blank screen. We have the success screen, we have people meeting calendar screens, but most times we use more of the blank and the success screens. So you can also insert your label. So I'm going to be inserting a label. You would be using your label most times. Okay, so this is how it looks. So you can change the name. So since we are using text, let's just do textiles here. So, okay, so this is it. Your label actually just enables you to add text into your app, your canvas. So you have your button, you can insert a button, you have, where is everything? Okay, so this is how it looks. You have your button. Here you have your text. So when you click on text, you have different options on that text, your label, your text input, your HTML text, your rich text editor, your pen input. So these are various options they are going to be learning about as we go on in this training, this Meetup deep dive sessions. So we have input. So yeah, you can insert. So if you don't want to, you can insert your button from here. If you don't want to insert a button from here, you can insert a text input from here, your drop down combo box, date picker. So most of these things you'll be working with as time goes on. Then you can also insert media. So you can insert a picture, your camera. So you know there's some apps you can create and you just need just the camera to show, so you like scan the person's face and all that. This is where you do that. That's under media and under insert option. So we have barcode scanner, we have video, you can insert your videos, you can insert your Microsoft stream, you can insert your audio, your microphones, you add pictures and so many other things. Then we have chat. So if you are building an application and you really want to use maybe your pie chart, or you want to use the Power BI stuff, this is where you go. If you want to connect your Power Apps to your Power BI, you come here under chat. Then you have icons. So there are various icons you can use. So you have the add icon, you have the cancel icon, you have edit, save, download, message, so many other icons you use as time goes on. So then we have custom. So this is for components. This, as time goes on, you will learn more about this. Component is something, sometimes when you create your apps, instead of, okay, I don't know how good most of us are in this yet, but for this custom, it's just to create components. Component is when you want your screens to have uniform texture or look and feel. So that's when you use your component. Then you have your area builder for connecting to your artificial intelligence stuff and all that. You have mixed reality. Then we have this arrow that points down. I think because my system is a smaller one, most of these things would actually be on this ribbon. But since it's smaller, they have to just put all of them down here. So yes, for you to insert a gallery, this comes mostly, it helps to bring all the data from your data source into the apps. Even your data table does that, and your forms too. We'll talk more about these ones later. So for view, yeah, you can view all your data sources. You can use more than one data source in PowerApps. So if you want to view how many data sources you're using, you can use this, or you can just come here to this cylindrical button here, and you will see them. But since I've not done anything, I've not created any data source, I won't see those things here. So your media is to view all your media or manage all your medias and all your media items. Then your collection, I don't have a collection yet, but it's just to view all your collections too. This is to view your variables and to view advanced settings. Then actions. So actions actually work, it kind of works hand in hand with this app here. So it show you your invisible of how your apps should behave once you log in. And if you want to connect to your Power Automate from your Power Apps, you come under action and you do that. So moving on, we are going to the next section, which is this here. Let's come back here. Sorry. Yeah. This, I don't know, I can't like these things. Okay, yeah, this, can you see my cursor? So yes, these are various commands that you'll be using in your Power Automate as time goes on. So, and this is for undoing your, if you made a mistake or you just like made like a small error, you use this to undo. You use this arrow to redo. Here is to view your apps in a preview mode, so you see it. It looks bolder. Please, can you see my screen? And are you following? Sorry, I don't know if I'm going too fast. You can.
You can see that.
Okay. All right. So yes, for previewing your screen. This play button here for previewing your app actually. So yes, for sharing with other users, and this is for learning. So we are going on to the third. The third is the object property selector. So your object property selector is this field that has this field. I don't know, can you see this as a field option here?
Yes.
So yeah, so this is your object property selector. So it actually works hand in hand with your formula bar. So this is your formula bar, this one with the FX thing. So that's why it says object property selector is going to be equal to your formula bar. So anything you click here, let's say, okay, let's click on our button. Now, you see that this changed to one select. Can you all see that? So it changes to one select, and then you see that it's equals to false. So it means that there's no formula yet for your button, so it's not going to work, it's not going to do anything and all that. So when you see this, you see it doesn't do anything, then you can now insert your formula. So you can either use a submit form. We do not have a form yet, so it's not going to do anything. There's no form, so just let's close it. It's going to drop an error because there's no form. We've not created a form. So, but yeah, your object property selector works hand in hand with your formula bar. And you can also see other options here. You have your auto disable on select, you have your border. It just really helps to fine-tune whatever button or whatever label, icons, or anything you put on your app, on your canvas actually. So, and each of these properties have specific formulas that you can run with them. They are usually not very complex because most of the formulas we use in Power Apps are formulas that most people use in Excel. I know that they are really simple formulas. So moving on to the next section, we are going to object tree view. You can see a tree view here. So these are object tree views. Can you all see the tree view? This thing is not alighting, so I can't highlight these things.
Can see the tree.
Yeah. Yeah, so this tree view actually allows you to view all the list of screens. So now we've used just one screen. If I add a new screen, so let's use the success screen, you see it here. So any screen you add, this particular view shows you all your screens. and it also shows you the objects used in those screens. So in screen 1 now, we've used icon. Let's go to screen 1. You see that we have our plus icon here. We have the button 1, which is this button. We have label, which is this label with the text styler's name on it. Then, so this is our screen 1. You can minimize and expand it to see your objects. Then your screen 2, when you click on it and you see your screen 2, you see that, okay, we have a success message, which is this label. Then we have icon check, that is this check inside your circle. Then we have your icon circle. So this actually just shows you, all the list of screens. So I can add more screens, and then let's use this people screen now. The more screens you add, the more it's just your number of screens here increase. So this is what this part, and then it also increases and shows you all the objects that were used or that was used in the screen. So, and then you can actually do a lot of things. You can move your screen up or down. This is screen 1. If you don't want your screen 1 to be up here, you can just click here and move your screen down. If you want it to go back, you move it up. Then if you want to duplicate your screen because you want to use the same items in your screen 1 in your screen 2, you can just click duplicate and it duplicates for you. You can also rename your screen from here. These 3 icons, these 3 dots, your ellipses. You come down to rename and you rename. So let's say this is our home screen. So you see it's renamed now. So it's no longer screen 1, it's now home screen. So if you want to delete a screen, you can just click delete and the screen goes. So you can collapse and expand also. If collapsing is like closing it, so now it's closed. So if you want to expand, you can just expand and everything is opened. So you can collapse and it closes. So that's all for, okay. And then we have all these things here. These things, most of the things here are actually like up here on the ribbon. Do you understand? Like these options by the side, close to your tree view. So when you click on these 3 lines, close to your tree view, can you see? Hello?
Hello.
Okay. So when you click on these 3 lines, I think horizontal lines, you see details of what these icons are. So the first is your tree view, what we just talked about. Then the second is your insert. So this is where, we saw insert at the top before, but now we have insert by the side. So you can just come down here and pick whatever item you want, whatever objects you want to use on your app. Then this is for data. We've seen it up here. I think we saw it under view. So it shows you all your data sources. So this is Office 365. This is my login details and all that. So and because I created a new screen that had people, this is where the collection came to. So then you can also insert media from this side instead of inserting from the top. Then you have advanced tools. So you have to monitor your text and all that. So you can close this by clicking on it and just expanding our tree view back. So after that, we are going to the app canvas. So the app canvas is this white screen here. This white screen, you can see it. This is our app canvas. This is where you build and you design each app screen. And it will also show you what the screen, the selected screen. So when you click on screen 2, you see what is happening in screen 2 on this app canvas. When you click on screen 3, you see what is happening on screen 3 with the app canvas too. So you can just navigate through your screens here, or when you create your app, you can just use your navigation formula. So now we are moving on to our object properties and settings windows. So we'll go back to the screen 1. So this is it. This screen here, this is object properties and settings windows. So this is where you edit whatever item is on your screen. So we are working with screen 1 now. And if you want to edit anything on your screen 1, this is where you come. This is the right, yeah, I think it will be left on your side, the right side of your PowerApps interface. So these are your properties. We don't have so much. Okay, so you see, if you want to fill or change the color of an item, you can just click on it. See, text is button, so you can change whatever item is on your button here. So let's just submit. You see, it changed. So now we have our display mode. So you either may disable it, edit it, or you view it. So viewing it means if you are going to, let's start from disabled. If you disable an item, it means that you can't do anything on the item. Nobody can do anything. Let's preview and see. See, you can't, it won't work with or without a formula. It will not work. So because you disabled this item. But if we come back here and click on the item and come under display mode and click edit, you see that you can work with it. See, it's clickable. Then we can come back here and say, okay, let's use display mode, let's use view. And you see that you can only view it, you can't do anything. See, it's not clickable as when you leave it on edit mode. So this is where you make some of these changes. And if you don't want your item or your fields or anything to be visible, you can just click off. So this is where you do that. You can turn it off and you won't see it again. But it will still be on your app canvas, but you won't see it. No other person can see it except you come back to turn on the visibility. So yeah, you can change the position of your items, the size of your items. Let's increase the size here. Just put 60. It increases. You can actually do most of these things from here too, from your object selector options. You can do that here too. But here is kind of like the faster way of doing most of the things. So instead of coming here to just really start selecting all that, you can just come down to your properties and work on it. And something you should know is if you don't click on an item, nothing shows. So you have to click on an item to be able to make changes to whatever, or to be able to edit the changes on the item. So this is the properties. And then we also have advanced in the same place. So advanced really is not that deep. So on the advanced option is where you see most of the formulas you are going to be using. So imagine now on my button, I put the formula, the submit form 1 formula. It shows here. Then it shows you the text, it shows you tooltip, it shows you the border color, the border size, everything about the button. This button helps you to change some of the things you want to change, align your text. Okay, so let's increase the text on our submit button. So the font size is 15, we can just make it 20. You see it's increased. It's semi-bold, you can make it bold from here. We can also do that up here on the ribbon. You see the option, this is 20, this is making it bold, this is italic, you see your italic here. You see your underline, you see your cross and all that. So you can do all that here. You can also do it up here too. So it now depends on whichever one you're comfortable using. So hope we all understand what I've said so far. Do we have any questions? Hello?
Not on my side.
Okay, I think I want to see. Okay. So we are continuing. So we're going to, I think, the last but not the least. So we have the object hierarchy navigation. So this is under your app canvas. Can you see where my mouse is? So here would help you select your screen. So most of the options in PowerApps options. So you can either do it here or do it at the other side. You know, I just showed you here now, this tree view. You can select all your screens and all that. You can also do that under your app canvas on this ribbon. So you see, select your screens here too. So it just allows you to select the parent object of your application. So moving on, you can, this is your zoom bar. Okay, so the way you can see our apps is already large enough, but you can make it larger. So by just clicking on this, see, it's larger. So you can close your tree view. Yeah, so you will see how large it can go. Yeah. So this is where you work with. Can help you zoom into your application, into your app, I mean. And then we have your fit to window option here. You can increase your zoom bar options here instead of scrolling on the scroll bar. So we are kind of done with this aspect, but I'm going to be showing you how to save an application and how to also share the application. Okay, and this is too large. Okay, so we are done with this. So once you create your app and you want to save it, you can just come up to your file here. I think I've told this before. Okay, see, we'll come here, check if whatever we want is okay. So we can change your icons here when you come to, okay, let's go back. So you can change the icons of your app so they don't look the same. Okay, let me show you something. On my application, when I come here, you see that I have the same icons here, but it can actually be different. And this is usually done when you go to save your application. So when you come here, see your icons, see your background color, and see you can pick from any of these icons. So now we're going to just pick one. Let's use this home. Okay, this is this emoji. You see, it changed. So what color? Okay, our text highlight color is purple/pink. We can use this. Then you can change your screen size if you don't want to. You can do, just check. Then you can come down here to save and save. Okay. So it has saved. Once it saves, it always comes down to share. Sometimes it comes to publish a version. Okay, so imagine I created the application. This is my first time of actually saving. That's why it came down to share, to this screen where you see your share and see your versions. So because it's our first time and we've not really worked on it, if you worked on your app like twice, once you click save, and you would see a publish this item. So you click it, so you publish it, and once you publish it, it's telling us that, okay, I'll show you how that works. Let's go back. So we've saved it now, and it's test, showing test. Okay, we've saved. So let's just add something else. Let's add another label. And do test save, and come back here and save. You see publish. So can you see this? Do you understand what I just said?
Yeah.
Okay. So you see this, you see the publish option. It comes up now because this is the second time we're editing our form or our app. So when you click on publish, let's say publish this version, and click on see your versions. You see that we have two versions now, version 1 and version 2. So the version that you're currently using would show this live thing here to show it, say, okay, this is the current one you're using. This is the first version you created. So you can like to revert back to the version you created if maybe you think you've done something here and this one does not work well. You come back here to redo whatever changes you made there that was not working. So once you click on it, you'll see restore version. You'll be able to restore the version you want to restore, but we're not doing that. So we're going back to our apps. So this is it. It's saved there already. Test. When you click on it directly, it just brings you to this preview screen. So you see all the things you've added and all that. This does not look nice. But if you want to go back to the edit mode, you come down, you click on it and come up here to edit. See, it's locked in for another session because I have it opened here. So let's just come back here and go back. So if you want to share your app, you can come down to file again and just scroll down. Okay, see, we have this here, share. You click on share and so can you see this? Can you see this screen? Can we all see this screen?
Yes.
So you come here and type the name of the person you want to share the app to. This is usually done when you are done creating your application and you want maybe someone else to use the application, or you want to show someone else's application, so they'll help you make changes to it and all that. So here you type the person's name. Okay, so I already have access to the app. So let's use, I don't know what to use. Okay, so let's use Textile as admin. Yeah. So you either want the person to co-owner the app, that the person can use the app, can edit the app, and can share the app with any other person, but the person cannot delete this app or change the owner of the app. So you click on this and then you share. You can send email, but we don't want to send email actually, so let's just uncheck that. So share. So you see, all permissions changes were saved successfully. So you successfully shared the application with whoever you want to share the application with. So, but if you want to unshare the application, you just click on the person. Because you are the owner of the app, you can like to delete the person's. You can like to delete the person from sharing or viewing your app. So you click on the person and click on this remove arrow, this X, the X button here. Click on it and the person is no longer there. So do you understand? So that's how you share and unshare your application. Cancel. So we're updating our permission. Click share again to update our permission. So it says only one person that is here. We don't have more than one person anymore. So Okay, we're working with this screen. Okay. So I'm going to, so this is it for, wait, I'm coming in to check something. So this is it for PowerApps Editor tool. We've seen everything we have to see and what we're going to be using. Okay, I said I was going to talk about something before we go. We are still going to talk more about it in our next class. So we'll create a new screen. Let's create a new screen, blank.
Amara?
Yeah?
Before you continue, I have a question.
All right, I'm listening to you.
So when you share an app to someone, they get the link or do they get the app? Like how will it look on my end if you share the app to me?
Okay, so if I share the app to you, I would get a link. Okay, you know I removed the email and all that. But now, okay. If the email was not, you have to, okay, most times if you're sharing an app, you need to include the email so it will be easy for the person to get the link to the app. So once you click on share, it goes to the person's email. The person goes to the email and sees an email that says something like, an application has been shared with you, an app has been shared with you by this person. Click here to view the application or to view the app. Do you understand? So that's click here, you click on it and then you see the app in edit mode. Do you understand?
Yeah, yes, I understand. So you don't have to have the environment, or I don't need to be in your organization for you to share the app to me?
No, you can share the app to anybody, but the thing now is, does the person have like Office 365 license and all that, so the person will be able to access the app when the person sees it.
So
yeah, the person should.
Okay, just continue.
No, I'm saying the person should be able to access the app from whatever environment the person is on. Like now, this is a textiler's environment. If I share an app to, let's say, my work environment, I should be able to view the app and make changes to it from my work environment because I have access to PowerApps platform and PowerApps license.
Okay.
Yeah, do you understand? So
Yeah.
you can't just send it to someone that does not have access to maybe PowerApps. So that's how you have that developer's account. So if you want to maybe share with your friends, you can tell them to like create a developer's account so that the person can make changes to your app or see your app and see what you've done to your app.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we wanted to say something before I interrupted. Hello?
No, I didn't. I wanted to ask also. So when I click on the link, I'm assuming I'm in Office 365. I have access to the PowerApps environment, etc. When I click on the link, the app will just start playing.
Yes, it just opens. And you know, okay, see something, see what I did. Let me tell you. You know, I clicked on the co-owner. Let's go back there and see. Let me show you something. I clicked on co-owner. So it means the person can actually just edit it from its own environment. But if I do not click on the if I do not click on co-owner, okay, let's do that again. So admin. Okay, so see, you see this co-owner. So the person would view it from your editor's from your editor screen. So the person views it like this. Let's come back. You see this if the person is a co-owner. But if the person is not a co-owner, the person would see it like this. So imagine the person is not a co-owner, the person just wants to see the app and use the app. You will not make the person a co-owner of the app. So you share, then the person sees this screen. Do you understand? So this is the screen the person sees. So the person cannot make changes to this screen. The person does not have the access to the back end of your app, that is this place. The person doesn't have access to this place. Your editor, he only has access to this place because he's not a co-owner, but your co-owner has access to this place. So he can make changes on the app for you. Okay, you can just call and be like, okay, I'm having issues with this formula and it's not working well. Can you help me check this out and all that? Then the person just, okay, share your app with me. I'll help you work on it and then send it back to you. Or you can view it from your own end. Do you understand?
Yes, okay, that's clear. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so any other question before we continue?
Yeah, I have a question. While you're saving your work,
Yeah.
do you like the way we save work on when you do work so that when power goes off, you don't lose everything? Do you have to keep on saving every now and then, every time
Okay,
you finish?
no. Once you save your work, okay, let's say I've saved this work now. And I want to insert a button. Let's insert another button. PowerApps automatically saves your work for you like every 10 seconds. So you would see it here. I don't know why it's not working, but it saves for you every 10 seconds. But sometimes it's advisable to save yourself and publish. So in case they take the light or something, or in case your laptop goes off, you'll be able to see your last work. Because sometimes once you don't save and you don't publish and your work goes off, you have to start afresh. Do you understand? So what you do is once you create, let's say you start now, you started from scratch. You put your buttons, you put your forms and everything. Quickly save your first savings. You know, I showed you versions now. You save, then there's no need for you to publish because you've not made changes yet. So once you come back to your screen and maybe you make another change, it automatically saves for you. Can you see this text up here? Close to this app checker thing. Can you see my screen? Yeah. Once it saves, there's always this thing that says test-saved. It's there. I don't know why it's not showing now. Because we've not made serious changes, but it shows saved. So once you come back and you make you do something major, just go back and save it and then publish so that you have a version. So imagine you are now working on something now, and let's say you go back and you're working on something. Let's say you've added so many other screens, you've added so many other objects and items, and they take the light. Your work is going to be saved, but it will not be published. So you have to do whatever you did again. So I just advise that maybe every 10 seconds, every 10 minutes, you publish a new version so that you'll be able to revert to a previous version if something mistakenly happens. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. So any other question, or do you want any other clarity? So any other question? I think it's time for us to go. So next week, we are going to be creating okay, someone wants to say something.
No, I no question for now.
Oh, okay. So next week, we're going to be working more with forms, tables, and more screens. So today we just did brief introduction of how PowerApps and how all the objects on PowerApps work and all that. So next week, by God's grace, we would work with our forms, our gallery, and our data table. So this is when we create apps, and we also create would create items in our SharePoint, or we're going to be using SharePoint as our data source from next week. So we'll be using SharePoint as our data source. So we connect to our PowerApps and then make major changes, and then you can save your work, publish your work, and then see all that I just explained today, be able to use all these items I just explained today. So what I'm going to tell you to take home today is, I think you should just go and read up on how to create SharePoint. No. Okay, what I want you to do is to create SharePoint list with a few items in them. So I think you should just read up on SharePoint list. And now you can use your SharePoint list as your data source in PowerApps. Do you understand? So we're reading up on SharePoint. Yeah, we're reading up on SharePoint list and how to use it as data source in PowerApps. Yeah. So that's all for today. Thank you all for attending. I really appreciate. So do we have any other questions before we close?